Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to High Top Sports, a little pop-up show for you on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. We have some breaking news as a lineman has been arrested from the Florida Gators for a DUI and a concealed weapon. So we're going to talk all about that. Also, a player had some surgery. We're going to talk about that, talk about some recruiting rankings, and we're gonna wrap it up with some good news, okay? We're going to make sure that we top this thing off with a little bit of cherry. And we're going to mention a giveaway. We're going to be giving away a signed Gator football helmet that was just completed today by yours truly of Caleb Banks, Tramel Jones, Stubbs, Jaden Ball, and Eugene Wilson. An absolute lineup on these helmets here. So super pumped. Got the black one here. Not quite sure which one we're giving away yet. That one's up for grabs. How you can win that will be talked about at the end of the show. Good to see you. Welcome to have you here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Like I said, 116 strong already. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. In the comments section, it kind of alludes to how most Gator fans feel when they hear any type of, we'll say negative news, but when there's news related to something like this, the immediate response is we're back. Gators, we're incredible people. We're phenomenal human beings. How we respond to these things. I love it. But as for who was arrested, it was offensive tackle Devin Manuel was arrested Friday evening around midnight. Listen, Gigi always said nothing good happens at 2 a.m. Now, this is 12 a.m., but it's pretty damn close. Okay, it's pretty damn close. And DUI and a concealed weapon. Now, I don't know where my screenshot went. Oh, here it is. I wanted to show this tweet from Florida Gators Network. It says, update, officers have reportedly told Manuel that the charges are likely to be dropped per sources. Meaning, apparently he was very cordial with the situation, didn't fight back, didn't push back, and all charges will be dropped. Florida has also made an announcement on the situation. They've released their statement, typically just saying, hey, we're going to gather all of our information, and then we will move forward with the progress. We've kind of had a couple of these situations happen this offseason. This is the third one that's happened. The first being with Khil Jackson that had the arrest over in Tampa. That all those charges seem to have dropped because there was no substance involved. The gun apparently wasn't his. From what my understanding, he is still part of the team. Nothing came from that. The next situation that happened was the lineman, true freshman Stephon Shivers, was arrested for the altercation with his girlfriend. He was released from the team due to those, and Coach Napier confirmed that at SEC Media Days, and we all kind of agreed that if what was being reported was true, because there's always two sides to every story, that this should happen. My opinion on this, given what we've known thus far, should just be more like, hey, whatever legal reasons need to happen, a slap on the wrist, come back to the team, run a couple extra laps, probably be suspended for a game. But that's as far as I should go. Again, I don't know how he wants to approach these things. We've talked about this from time to time. Even when the Khil Jackson situation happened, it's like, look, young men make mistakes. They have their mishaps. It doesn't mean you quit on them. There is a line, and I think everyone's line's a little bit different. My line was for Shivers when he was allegedly hitting his girlfriend. I said, listen, if any part of this is true, then see you later. That's my line. And again, I know there's people have their opinions on DUIs. We've had people on the show talk about that. Aren't fans of it. I don't think anybody are fans of it. I think some people look at it more lightly than others. One of the greatest advice I ever got was from my grandpa. Said, listen, the only difference between me and somebody who has a DUI is I never got caught. And again, my point of saying that is that something like this is a little more common, and it doesn't make it okay, but it's definitely more of a common factor. He's a much older player, so I believe he is over 21, so he is allowed to drink. How much was in his system? Those things have not been reported on yet. Now, as for the impact of the team, who is Devin Manuel, in case you don't know who he is? He transferred in last year from Arkansas, was intended to back up, maybe even start a little bit at that left tackle position with Austin Barber. They kind of played a little Russian roulette for quite some time early on in the season, and Barber obviously took off, and that ultimately became his role. Fletcher Westphal has really done a phenomenal job, I think, stepping into that second role this year, and Rob Sale reported on it earlier in the spring that he's fighting for that right tackle position with the likes of Bryce Lovett and Caden Jones. So as a regards to a depth piece, I don't think it's that nuts, right? If something were to happen, I don't think we're going to see much of an impact negatively because, again, with the depth we have on the offensive line, where he laid on that depth piece, if it's a suspension for a game or two, then I think we're going to be just okay. But again, I think just because of the fact that it's already been reported that charges are going to be dropped, I do not see him having any type of real significant impact when it comes regards to the team. So again, once we know more about it, we'll continue to update it. We did it with the John Johnson situation. Kind of goes away for a little bit, from my understanding. Even the Shivers thing went quiet for a couple of days, but that we got much quicker feedback back on that because I think their investigation told them more. And so I think the same thing will happen here, that they'll bring him in, they'll handle it internally. I'm sure that it'll be asked, and then they'll move along with it. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, offensive line, not defensive line. O-line, not D-line. Okay? He was not a starter. No, he wasn't a starter last year. Again, he played some snaps. He rotated out with more likely Barber, because they were trying to the tackle position was Crenshaw, him, and Barber. When Manuel came in, we needed that depth piece. We were lacking tremendously. Again, Fletcher Westphal was a true freshman last year. He has made strides, leaps and bounds. That was a guy that you go and recruit for this exact reason, to have that depth, and a guy that could probably be fighting for a starting role. Fletcher Westphal, a true blue chip guy, 4-star offensive tackle that is very serious about his craft. So super excited to see what he's going to be able to do. Again, I don't think it's going to impact negatively from a depth perspective. But 156 strong, boys and girls. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. Also, some other news is Khil Jackson, wide receiver, was reported by our guy Keith Napier on 3 that he had some knee surgery. It was just a scope sometime in June. Spoke with his dad about it. He was at 75% during the spring ball, then got a scope because he had a surgery earlier on in the year. Now he has a scope situation going on here. I looked it up. It takes about 3 to 6 weeks with the scope, but it obviously is a little bit of a setback. There's a lot of, I would say, Khil Jackson slander for whatever reason. I mean, he was a walk-on, doesn't pop off the page like obviously like the Dallas Wilson and Eugene guys. But this young man, when he was on the football field, makes some big-time plays for Graham Mertz just 2 years ago. So I kept telling y'all Khil was going to be a starter. Y'all hated me when I said it. He was 2 years ago. I expected him to get some playing time this year. I think he's going to have a fantastic season. Again, I know you all get frustrated because of the other talent that is in the room, but young man out there, when he's out there, he makes an impact. He makes some incredible catches. I'm a big fan of Khil Jackson, so hopefully he gets healthy and gets rocking and rolling. Because look, the more the merrier. Now, today I was able to meet a handful of players who signed these helmets. Like I said, Eugene Wilson was there, looked fantastic. Jaden Ball was there, he looked fantastic. Stubb was there as well. Hilton Stubbs was there, and I asked him. I said, "Listen, man," I was like, who's a dog right now?" Or I didn't say dog. I didn't say that actually. I said, "Who's a fit to cover right now?" And he goes, "Man, VB3 is a dog." He said, VB3 is a dog, man. That guy is all over the football field. So love hearing that. I mean, we hear all these things, and then he even said, "Look, he's like Dallas Wilson's. He's fun to cover too." I said, "You guys were going at it in the spring." He was, "Yeah, man. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna kick." I said, "Hey, kick some ass." He was, "Yeah, man, let's kick some ass." So cool, very cool, man. Very great personality. Jamal Jones was there. Remember being on the show, shook my hand. Great handshake, by the way. Way better than Arch Manning, Paul Feinbaum. C Banks was there, super chill. But Eugene and I got a picture with Eugene and Jaden Ball, QB1, wide receiver 1, and running back 1. Because why wouldn't I? So great stuff. Great little meetup here at Silverleaf. Shout out to Florida Victorious for doing that awesome event and allowing people to come in and just get autographs, just hang out. Super in and out, no tickets needed. Had cupcakes too. If you guys are about that kind of life. So fantastic stuff. Now I also want to talk about this little recruiting stuff here. We've been going over and over about recruiting. We've been watching this thing. We missed out on Valid Sone to Georgia, which I kind of tried to hint towards you guys that it didn't feel good for Sone, and he is now ultimately committed to Georgia. So a lot of the targets that Florida was going after, like Bodney Cleveland, James Johnson, Sone, those guys currently are homed elsewhere. So Florida's going to have, I think, a little bit of work to do when it comes to the defensive line part. I think 1 or 2 more guys. They lost Jameer Perez to Ohio State, so there are some things they need to clean up. However, they are still having a phenomenal year when it comes to the overall health of this recruiting class. Very thick, very healthy, high blue chip guys. And On3 released their new rankings because, again, some guys got some bumps. One being our offensive tackle we talked about the other day, Tyler Chukum, I believe, went from a not nationally ranked to ranked top 100 recruit in the country. This guy's an offensive tackle. So this is an updated chart here. And 90.34 is the overall average rating, which sits 10th overall. And again, a couple of things what I love seeing. One, we're ahead of Texas, who we know have landed some dogs. USC, we know they have 33 plus commits. That's actually a very healthy grade with as many commits as they have, so kudos to them. LSU and Oregon have been doing very well. Notre Dame has been doing very well. A commonality with all these guys, these group of schools have spent a ton of money when it comes to recruiting. When we looked at that top 10 class or top 10 spending from particular schools, I think all these schools are in it except Florida and Georgia. Florida and Georgia were not in that top 10 spending. And the reason I bring this up is like, look, Florida's doing a phenomenal job with, I would say, managing their budget, right? Because they're not in the top 10 of spending, but here they are right with everybody else when it comes to a top 10 health-wise of class, a quality of class, if you will. And when Peak was on the other day, when she talked about this too, said, look, Billy has out-recruited his seasons. Most of the time when you see a team go, 7-6 or 5-7 or 7-5 or 8-4 or whatever, 8-5 last year, they typically don't recruit at an elite level with that, right? They kind of, if they're not finishing in a top 15, top 20, they're not going to have a top 15, top 10 class to complement that. Although Billy has continued to do that year in and year out. He's out-recruited his classes. So this is just kind of topping on top of that. And again, we all know and feel that how this class is trending and how the season is trending. This grade can only, I believe it's going to have an upward trajectory as well. And I said this, so I think Florida's going to finish around 12th, 13th. When I say finish, I meant headed into the season, right? And then are going to be able to close strong, which is a much better than the years prior. So think about this, right? 2 years ago, we were sitting like third or fourth with all these guys, and then we had a lot of flips toward the end of the year. Remember that? We had a bad season, lost a lot of guys, kind of fell all the way back. Then last year, we were sitting like 60th with the season recruiting class about to finish, and had a raging force to finish strong to finish 7th. I go, well, if we have a combination of the both, where we can have a healthy summer and a strong close, that is a recipe for some nastiness for the Florida Gator class. And it seems to be that Florida is sitting in a phenomenal place right now with a very healthy core, which is what we have, with the ability to close very, very strong. So, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Jane Doe says, why is it considered breaking news? I don't know. When a player gets arrested, that's breaking news, bub. I mean, that's just common sense. Apologies, your brain cells aren't clicking today. That's not my fault. You know what I mean? Who got arrested? Curie. It was Devin Manuel, offensive tackle lineman. So, yeah. And then right afterwards, 3 hours later, a Georgia player was arrested for domestic violence. So it's a long summer. An Auburn player got arrested just the other day. Now a Georgia one, a Florida one. It's been a busy offseason for the SEC boys. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that much. So we will see. A couple of things now. Let's dive into some good stuff. Let's dive into some good news here. All right. We're doing a giveaway. We have a massive event. We've been talking about it for like 2 months now. Okay. Met some guys at the event today. They're going to be there. Super excited. They bought 4 tickets. So shout out to those gentlemen that bought some tickets. It is kid friendly. He did ask if he's bringing his kids. I said absolutely. It's 100% kid friendly. Please bring your little ones. Let's have some fun. Other players are going to be there as well. Now, what I wanted to do also too, I wanted to give some love for everyone who bought a ticket to come hang out with us, is the opportunity to win something. So everyone who buys a ticket to that event will be entered into a drawing. We'll be doing the giveaway at the event for this signed helmet by the players that I just mentioned. I'll remind you again: Tramel Jones, Caleb Banks, Eugene Wilson, Jaden Ball, and Drake Stubbs. So it's either going to be this helmet here or this black one. I haven't decided which one that I will be keeping yet myself. I think I'm probably going to keep the black one. But yes, so get yourself some tickets if you haven't yet. It is Sunday from 2 to 5 at what's the brewing company called? I keep forgetting what it's called. Brought to you by Sachs Law. So super pumped for that event. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. Some great players are going to be there, along with Stubbs, along with Pup Howard, and a few others are going to be joining us as well. So we're really fired up about it. Would love for you guys to come, trying to really get back to Gator Nation and have an awesome time with all of you, and kind of have like a pre-tailgate, a pre-party before the whole season gets kicked off, like we like to do. Also, you guys went nuts, which I really appreciate, on the Spot the Ball t-shirts. I couldn't believe it. We acted quickly, and you guys ate it. I think we sold like 12 shirts of Spot the Ball. So you see it there on the front. On the back, it has the schedule, and you guys ate it up, loved it. So happy about it. Also, too, we are kicking off, which we always do every year. We have a beat whatever team it is. The first game of the season is beat Long Island. We got a little Gator there surfing the shark. That's their mascot. Beat LIU shirts are out now. We're going to be dropping a few more throughout the year. LSU is on the board. Texas, Georgia, FSU, and Miami, I think, are going to be the other ones that we create. Those will get released over the next couple of weeks, so you guys have some time to get them and then get to your your place if you want to wear them to the game. I think there's a few color options as well. So super pumped about them. Worked really hard on them over the last couple of weeks here to get them out looking good. So check them out. Links in the description below if you guys want to get in on that. But big thing is, again, I want you guys, if you guys want an opportunity to win that helmet, check out the link in the description to get yourself on that one. 175 strong, boys. Hope you guys can smash the like button and subscribe. Good to see you all here on this beautiful Saturday. I know, middle of the afternoon, probably at the pool. I get it. Little man's taking a nap. I figured I'd hop in here and break some news for you guys and let you know what's going on. Good or bad, we always talk about it and give our thoughts and opinions about it if we can. So I think all will be good. I think it'll kind of be brushed under the rug. That's my thoughts. We'll see. It's always interesting to see how this team is going to approach these things when they do happen. They're always very intriguing to me, but we'll see. Gator J, I remember back in the 90s where a Tennessee player beat up his girlfriend, and for punishment, Phil Fulmer had him run gassers. All right there. Well, boys and girls, thank you for the love. Thank you for tuning in on this beautiful day. If anything else happens, you know where we'll be. We'll be rocking and rolling. So keep the bell turned on in case we do drop any more videos or we do go live. Y'all be good. Be safe. It's almost beer 30. Absolutely bourbon, Gator. I think it already is beer 30. I think you're good to go on a Saturday in the middle of July. It's hot. Cool down. Y'all be good, baby. Peace and love.